So the combined final is away down the back straight. Courtney Scott from the inside will be amongst our early leaders. Coming across, looks like the Athletics Essendon runner in Sarah Waters will go to the front of the field and look to force the early pace. It's Courtney Scott and Rochelle Kennedy in second and third place from Western Athletics as the field just starts to separate through the early stages. Waters won the under-16 1500 metre at last year's Victorian Youth Championships, so we want to watch. Courtney Scott, better known over the longer distances, 3,000 metres in particular, but she was runner-up in the under-16 1500 metres at the Victorian All Schools Championship last year. Rochelle Kennedy in red-hot form over 2 laps at the moment, ran a 2:07.7 at the recent Victorian Milers Club meet. They'll go through 3 laps remaining now. And our 4th athlete on the track, leading the under-18 fight, it's Kayla DeBont from Glen Huntly, leading from Connor Gist. Looks like the 3 under-17 Glen Huntly athletes not too far together. That's Shawnee Douglas, Anna Wallace and Samantha Cook. But it's a leading trio on the track at the moment. It's the under-16 champion from last year in Sarah Waters. Courtney Scott, she was second at the All Schools in this event. Rochelle Kennedy, second in the under-16 youth race last year to Sarah Waters. So your top 2 from last year's under-16 final in our leading 3 on the track at the moment. Kayla DeBont from Glen Huntly. He's currently 4th place on the track. And Natalie Ambrose not too far off the pace behind her. Ambrose took a bronze medal last year in the under-17 1500 metres. I'll be looking to make her way up the podium as the athletes come down the home stretch to collect 2 laps remaining. It's still a leading trio in Courtney Scott, Sarah Waters and Rochelle Kennedy, but the pace has just started to slow off slightly at the front end of the field as we see DeBont just starting to bring that second group of athletes back onto our leading group of 3. So Shawnee Douglas tucked in behind her, Natalie Ambrose, Connor Gist. So our top 3 in the under-18 race are currently 4th, 6th and 7th on the track. But the pace being forced by the under-17 competitors now. It's still Courtney Scott, who likes to run from the front. You'll see her do that over the 3,000 metres again later in the championship. A strong run over the 3,000 metres at the Australian All Schools out of Doncaster at the end of last year. I think she medalled in that occasion. As we just see the pace starting to be forced down the back straight there. We'll see maybe a slight head breeze down the back straight for the athletes to work into. So it's Scott and Rochelle Kennedy that have established a bit of a break, but you see DeBont just starting to work her way across in the Glen Huntly colours, and she'll join the Western Athletics runners at the front of the field as they go through 600 metres remaining. Waters, our under-16 champion from last year, back to 4th place. Joined there by Shawnee Douglas, Natalie Ambrose and Connor Gist, our under-18 minor place holders on the track at the moment. But it'll be Scott that'll lead him into the home stretch. Kennedy looking ominous, and she'll have a great turn of speed when they come around the last 400 metres with that 2:07.7, that World Youth qualifying performance to her credit. She ran that over 800 metres at the Melbourne University Rawlinson track just a couple of weeks ago. So down to the bell, 3:30 at the bell for Courtney Scott. Rochelle Kennedy is starting to make a move onto her shoulder now. DeBont, a clear 3rd place, leading the under-18 race. Waters is currently 4th overall, but holding the bronze medal in the under-17 standings. Natalie Ambrose on her shoulder, as is Connor Gist. 2nd and 3rd in the under-18 1500 metres. But down the back straight now, it's Rochelle Kennedy that's just starting to apply the pressure there. Scott trying to hang on tight. DeBont still trying to work her way back up into the top 2 placings overall on the track. But DeBont in 3rd place for Glen Huntly's leading the under-18 combined final. The under-17 runners are 1 and 2 on the track, and it's Kennedy that's just starting to wind up here, but Scott's not done with and starting to make moves back onto Kennedy, who's just starting to tighten up ever so slightly inside of 150 metres remaining. And it's going to be the 2 Western Athletics club mates and, dare I say, training partners that will straighten up side by side. It's Scott in 2nd place at the moment. Kennedy is trying to accelerate away now. Might just have a little bit more pace in the tank. Scott digging deep, but Kennedy's probably got the extra power over the closing stages. She's going to take the win, powering down to the line. 4:38 in front of Courtney Scott. She'll take the under-17 state crown. Kayla DeBont holding on tight. Natalie Ambrose flying home over the closing stages, but DeBont will get the under-18 title in front of Ambrose and Gist. Sarah Waters will come home across the line, 6th overall, but take the bronze medal in the under-17 title race. In front of Annika Meeson from Eureka. As the remaining athletes come through, that was the under 17 and under 18 combined 1500 metre final.